everybody, it's me, Kamilah Rose, and I'm back for our Tarot Tuesday for March the 22nd through the 28th. It's that full moon in Aries, in Libra. Now, I talked about this last time. It's going to be a very interesting one. I haven't done the full write-up on it yet, so I'm still not like 100% sure where all the planets and how they're going to be interacting. But it's a very interesting opposition between Libra and Aries at this time that I think is going to give us a really interesting experience. I was like, these cards are really coming out. Ooh, the Wheel. All right, so our card for this week is the Wheel. So we have some patterns coming up, which totally makes sense because the planets that are in Aries are the Sun, Chiron, and is it Venus maybe? I'm not entirely too sure. I need to go look and see what the third planet is. But there's 3 planets. It might be Mercury. There's 3 planets in Aries for this full moon in Libra. And they are all in 8 degrees Mercury, or Aries, and they are in opposition to Libra, which means there is a tension there. There is a pull there to the moon in Libra. We've got some healing going on in our relationships, from past relationships, from cycles that we go on over and over again. And you can see that right here in this wheel. The wheel keeps turning. You go through one thing and you're up at the top and it's great. And then you kind of start to decline and you go down, and then you find yourself at the bottom in the underworld, and then you come back up, and it's just a cycle. It's just the wheels. It's the wheel of fortune. And we can, as individuals, impact this wheel, impact its direction, impact its flow, but it takes time of being intentional and aware. The wheel is also the card of Cancer, and so, okay. Well, I'm trying to figure out, I guess it was, okay, so it was in reverse. 3 of Swords, past card, heartbreak. But reversed, honestly, it's still giving me heartbreak. Honestly, this card is, because we got that Libra energy. Ugh. Okay, so our relationships. It's time to take a look at our relationships. It's time to take a look at what patterns we have in our relationships, particularly related to breakups, friendships that have dissolved, things that have involved you having to sacrifice your heart or something that you cared about a lot in order to do something that you thought would be the best choice for you. Whether it turned out to be actually the best choice for you or not is beside the point. But, it was something that you gave up, that you really cared about because you thought it was the best outcome for you. And that's kind of coming up right now as it's reversed. It doesn't seem like it's necessarily an active energy. It's something you're reflecting upon. And it also seems like it's something that is impacting what's going on with you now. 7 of Cups. You have a lot of options available to you. In fact, it might be too many options. And you're trying to figure out where you want to go. And I think also a lot of people are trying to figure out how to break these cycles that keep happening. They see that it's a cycle. They understand that it's a pattern, generational, could feel like it's a soul pattern. And it's really trying to figure out, okay, well, I do have all these options. I can make other choices. I can change what is to come. How do I figure out what that is, though? And with that, the Wheel card, it's really pointing towards you having an understanding of where it is that you want to go and working backwards. Which sounds like that doesn't make a lot of sense because you want to move forward. But you have to have the ability to have the vision to see what it is that you would like, and then to work backwards from that to figure out kind of what you need to do to get there. And then let that influence what it is that you choose to do in the now. Because if you stay focused on the choices that you've made in the past, it's just going to lead you right back where you were. So you think that in over analyzing what it was that you did that put you where you are now in this space where you're like, gosh, how long do I have to go through this? How many times am I going to have to be on this stupid pattern, this stupid life cycle. And it's like, well, it's because you keep trying to change what happened in the past instead of doing what needs to be done to get you to where you want to be in the future. So you have to shift your focus a little bit to thinking backwards from the past as opposed to trying to thinking backwards from the future as opposed to having to rewrite or fix something in the past. Our last card that's coming up is a Three of Wands. So you're going to be getting some insights from doing a journey, whether this is a physical journey. And I do think it's probably a good idea for most folks to try to get out of the environment that they've been in. I know a lot of people have spent a lot of time in the house or spent a lot of time really close to them, or just done, maybe a quick trip somewhere where they could drive. I think going somewhere where you will change your perspective, which can happen in many different ways, and we might need to be creative. Watching a movie can change your perspective. Reading a book can change your perspective. Learning something new, visiting a different culture, eating food from a different culture and watching a movie from there, and then maybe, reading up on the history of this culture and kind of what innovations they're working on now can change your perspective. It's about shifting where you are in order to achieve something different, to step outside of the pattern, to step off the path. It's interesting I was thinking about this and it was reminding me of a labyrinth and how I love labyrinths. I've visited a few. I live in Texas. There's some in Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston. So basically anywhere you are, you can pretty much find a labyrinth. You will have to probably drive there. So if you're in Texas and you're not a driver, you might have to make this a group trip. Safe, socially distanced, all that great stuff. But there are labyrinths, and in a labyrinth, you walk into the path and it's already written out before you, and you just have to trust in taking that next step. And you just take that next step, and you take the next step, and you contemplate and you think, and you kind of get into this meditative space, and then you find yourself in the center. And in the center, it's like, if you trust the process, it'll take you where you need to be. And even turning around or exiting, you trust the process, you put one foot in front of the other, and then you find your way out. And it reminds me of preordained destiny or fate or something of that nature. And in this case, I see that as when you stay on the path and you're trusting the process, but it keeps leading you back to where you've been, it might be time for you to step off of the path and maybe take a different route. Someone created the labyrinth, and so perhaps now it's time for you to create your own, and for you to create one that will lead you to the outcome that you desire. And so it's great when you need a comforting sense of order in the world to have something where it is guaranteed that you will get in and get out. But when you know that what's waiting for you is the thing that you're not wanting to encounter or embrace any longer, perhaps it is time to look at how do we rewrite this story. And I think that's the Three of Wands. That 3 choices, 3 opportunities of broadening of, it's not just a choice between 1 and 2 or this and the other. It is taking that chance to take the third path, maybe the path less traveled. 8 of Cups is our outcome. 8 of Cups kind of take a little bit of a break in the sense of, and we've got that 8, so we've got that energy again. And in this case, it is a spiritual journey. It is making the choice to connect with where, again, like this person has turned their back. I would definitely say turn their back, facing the moon, heading forth. They have all of those choices, those 7 cups. It's 8 in this case, but those 7 cups behind them of all the things that they could choose, and they actually turned their back on that and took that new path. They took that new choice. They said, okay, here are the things that have been offered to me for so long. the heartache I've experienced, the relationships I've experienced, the businesses, the career, the life I have experienced, it's all been here. It's been there. I've had those moments. I have all these choices. The Seven of Cups. I have all these choices of things that I can do. They're sitting right in front of me. And what is it that I want to choose? And it's kind of like you have all of this before you, and it's like you choose something different. You choose a different path altogether, and it's connecting to that internal, like this, it's literally like the center of the wheel as opposed to taking the outside route. Like you focus in to that center, and then you let that be your compass that leads you, and you end up going past all of the other options and saying, you know what, I bet there's more. 8 card, infinity. I bet there's more. And that I need to take some time to connect and give myself the option to see what else is there for me. Great time of manifestation, great time of empowerment, a great time of setting a new cycle. Big week, huh? Okay, well, that's going to be it for this reading for March the 21st through the 28th. And I will see you for our last reading for the month of March, those last few days. And then we'll be into April, y'all. April 2021. Wow. Okay, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all later. Have a great one. I love you. Bye-bye.